Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now the middle of August of 2022, and we have a lot of announcements on the horizon that are about to take place at D23 and Disney Plus Day, but that's just the beginning. The real announcements really are going to begin at Star Wars Celebration of 2023 in Europe next year, so looking forward to that as well, because FAVREAU, Filoni, and others are going to be joining the stage to make major announcements related to the future roadmap of the Star Wars universe. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that yes, we have a lot of legends coming back, a lot of older material that's going to be made canon by Disney and Lucasfilm, allowing Favreau and Filoni to do as they please. All thanks to Bob Chapek for allowing that. Now, obviously, everything related to the new Star Wars universe is that essentially Jon Favreau now has pretty much all the creative power that he needs, because he recently got that major promotion over at Lucasfilm a couple of weeks ago. We talked about this, and Kathleen Kennedy only has creative power over the Acolyte TV series, even just partially, and full creative power over the Skeleton Crew show, and that's it. Now, this brings us to George Lucas and exactly what's been happening with the Star Wars franchise, specifically with, of course, a brand new Star Wars TV show that is currently in the works that is actually going to involve Favreau, Filoni, and Lucas. We're going to dive more into this and exactly what's been happening behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm and Disney CEO Bob Chapek, and what he really allowed Lucas and, of course, others to greenlight for the new Star Wars TV shows, so to speak. Now, with that being said, what's even all the more exciting is that with George Lucas now heavily involved with Jon and Dave on the future of The Mandalorian and its surrounding shows, other Star Wars, of course, shows are set to feature new eras for the franchise that fans will be able to watch in the near future thanks to Favreau, Filoni, and Lucas. However, one of the big moves that George Lucas recently made with Disney CEO Bob Chapek was by developing a very special Star Wars show to be made in live-action form that is also going to be labeled as an anthology series. Now, this is described to be a live-action show of the Old Republic era that takes place thousands of years before the events of The Phantom Menace. Now, George Lucas is the one responsible for allowing Bob Chapek to make his decision to greenlight the series that they are aiming to release sometime in 2025, while announcing an all-new Star Wars Celebration 2023 experience to actually showcase the Old Republic era. Now, the series is set to focus on many stories featuring characters such as Darth Bane, Malgus, and Revan, where the plan is to dedicate episodes to each character with the finale of the anthology show, grouping all of the characters together somehow. One of the big stories that will be a part of this new show is set to feature the full origin story of Darth Revan and how he became a Sith. Now, this is going to be done on a very high budget for the series to make it very movie-like for the fans. As of now, Lucas is said to be the one who will choose on who will be cast as Darth Revan in the new series. Lucas already has a couple of actors in mind to portray the character, along with the scenes that are already pre-planned that will show Revan without the mask for the first time in live action. Now, additionally, also a full origin story of the Rule of Two will be a part of the anthology series that will dive into the backstory of Darth Bane. New canon material will be established for this character and how he became a Sith as well, and creates the Rule of Two. Now, let me just pause here quick for a second. Now, the thing about the anthology show format, I don't know about you guys, but I think that this is really going to make things all the more successful for the new Star Wars universe. Now, sure, it's always nice to actually have a, flowing story where episode by episode, things progress, such as The Mandalorian and other shows out there that have been made, like the Book of Boba Fett, where each episode pretty much progresses the story. Whereas the anthology shows, each episode is going to be its own story. So they're aiming to make the anthology shows elongated, basically each episode being 1 full hour each. No 50 minutes, no 52 minutes, they want to make them 1 full hour to the minute, to the second, in order to really make this a very involved experience. So that's their game plan right now with 2 anthology shows, The Old Republic and The Circle of the Wills that we talked about just a couple of days ago. Now, moving on forward from that, alright, this is where things begin to really pick up, is that new canon will be established for all of these characters. However, at no surprise at all, actually, Kathleen Kennedy is actually against the Old Republic era becoming canon in live action, and that Lucas and Favreau as well as Filoni are going to be involved with the creative process about all of this. Now, new Sith Lords are also going to be created by Disney to make new characters a part of the Old Republic era, to keep things fresh as well for this brand new franchise. Now, it's described that Favreau and Lucas will tease the Old Republic in the Acolyte show that takes place in the High Republic through the use of flashbacks and more for the fans to finally see. Lucasfilm is said to already have an idea of who will play Darth Bane, and that they will be making a casting call sometime in 2023. Both Bane and Revan are said to get some minor redesigns to make them appear even more intimidating in the series. Now, I don't know about you guys. Let me just pause here quick, because I don't know about you, but I think that minor redesigns are a positive thing than a negative. Now, I don't think that they're going to make things inaccurate to how they are done in Star Wars Legends or anything like that, but originally, Kathleen Kennedy wanted to do that. She wanted to completely reverse the characters of Bane, Nihilus, and Revan in the Acolyte through the use of flashbacks. Now, thankfully, since Favreau, Lucas, and Filoni have a lot more power now over the Acolyte show, even though they're not writing it, they have power over what Leslie Headland is going to do. So, basically, they are in power of approving certain story choices. And a lot of those story choices have to do with the flashbacks. We're going to be learning a lot more about characters like Bane, Nihilus, Revan, Malgus, and more in the Acolyte series, as well as the world of Scipio, which by the way is the home world of Darth Plagueis, which will also showcase in the Acolyte series. That was also another thing approved by Jon Favreau. So we have a lot of things on the horizon, there's no doubt about that. Now, as for who is going to be cast as Darth Revan, that's the biggest mystery of all. Lucas is said to already have a handful of ideas of who he's going to choose to become Darth Revan in the upcoming Old Republic anthology show. Now, there's 3 anthology shows in the early development phase. There's this one, there's Circle of the Wills, and Star Wars Jedi Knight, which is going to be all about stories about Luke and his journey to becoming a Jedi Master. All 3 of which are going to be officially announced at next year's Star Wars Celebration event, so keep your eyes open for that. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Celebration takes place in April of next year this time around. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But overall, this really is the right path to go. Lucas is really saving the franchise by allowing things to happen like this, and convincing Chapek to actually allow Lucas, Favreau, and Filoni to tell the stories that they want to tell for the fans that just love all of the Star Wars Legends material and everything related to that. So overall, guys, I would like to hear what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.